We're learning with the paparazzi just taking photos from all over the place, but at the same time, it's it comes with it.
It comes with it. Cool, calm, collected. That is Travis Kelce's whole thing. But then the internet decided Taylor Swift was pregnant, decided Travis was the father, and started answering questions nobody asked him. And when the truth finally came out, none of it was pretty. The baby that never was. Let's start at the beginning, because this story did not arrive overnight. It was built layer by layer over the course of months by a machine that runs entirely on clicks, speculation, and the very human need to believe something dramatic is always happening behind the scenes of the world's most watched celebrity relationship. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift went public in September 2023. Travis mentioned her on his New Heights podcast. She walked into Arrowhead Stadium, and from that point forward, the two of them stopped being individuals and became a single, permanent fixture in the global celebrity news cycle. Everything they did was content. Every game attendance, every vacation photo, every paparazzi sighting, every cryptic lyric, content. And in a media ecosystem that moves at the speed of a repost, that kind of visibility creates a very specific kind of hunger. People do not just want to know what is happening. They want to know what is about to happen. They want the next chapter before the current one is even finished. So when the relationship settled into something stable, the internet started asking the obvious question: when is the baby coming? The first real wave hit in February 2025. Tabloids were running stories claiming the couple had been overheard discussing having babies on a double date with Patrick Mahomes and his wife. No recording, no source with a name attached, just the word overheard doing all the heavy lifting in a headline that thousands of people screenshotted and shared without reading past the title. That was the opening act. Low level, easy to dismiss, but it planted something. Then came June 2025. A photo of Taylor Swift in a black dress went viral because of what fans described as a baby bump illusion created by the angle and the fabric. It was a dress. It was an angle. But try telling that to Reddit. Threads on r/Swiftly, Neutral, and r/Travis and Taylor began dissecting every centimeter of that photo with a kind of clinical focus that would make a medical examiner uncomfortable. The obsession was no longer casual. It was systematic. It had its own community, its own vocabulary, its own daily research cycle. And then March 2025 arrived, and the rumor machine shifted into a completely different gear. An AI-generated image began spreading online that showed Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift holding ultrasound photos. The original file had a visible watermark from Grok's AI image tool. That detail was there from the start, buried in the original upload. But by the time anyone stopped to look for it, the image had already accumulated over 22,000 reactions on Facebook, spread through pages like Follow Daily Bible Verse, and made its way into group chats on 3 different continents. Snopes investigated, confirmed it was 100% fabricated. No Instagram posts from the couple, no credible reporting, no nothing, but the retraction never travels as fast as the original lie. The machine found its most powerful fuel source in a place nobody expected: the Kelce family's own openness about wanting more babies in the family. Travis's mother, Donna Kelce, had to address a fake Facebook imposter account in April 2025 that had been posting baby-related content while pretending to be her. Someone cared enough about the idea of a Travis and Taylor baby to create a fake account in Travis's mother's name and use it to spread manufactured news. Donna shut it down, but the fact that the hoax had been running long enough to gain traction tells you exactly how fertile the ground was. Then, in September 2025, Jason Kelce revealed on record that their mother, Donna, had been actively pressuring Travis and Taylor about grandkids. He made it sound lighthearted, relatable family stuff. But when that kind of detail hits the press, the internet does not process it as a sweet moment between a mother and her son. It processes it as a clue. The engagement made everything exponentially worse. Travis proposed to Taylor in approximately August 2025. The announcement hit Instagram with proposal photos from a garden at Travis's Missouri home, captioned, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." The internet responded like it was the single most important event in recorded human history. And in the aftermath of that announcement, the pregnancy conversation went from background noise to the loudest thing in the room. The AI ultrasound image resurfaced almost immediately, pushed again in September 2025 through a page called USA Pulse Today. This time the caption read, "Baby number 1 on the way," with a completely fabricated story about a party in Florida to celebrate the news. Zero verification, zero sourcing, thousands of shares. Then came November 30th, 2025. Travis reacted to podcaster Pat McAfee's pregnancy announcement with an enthusiastic, "Let's go!" 2 words, a sports hype phrase that Travis Kelce has probably said 10,000 times in his life. And somehow, Somehow, that two-word reaction was immediately interpreted by a significant portion of the internet as a coded signal that Taylor Swift was pregnant. People were not engaging with information at this point. They were running pure pattern recognition, and every pattern pointed to the same conclusion they had already decided was true. And then, December 21st, 2025 arrived. Podcaster Bill Simmons was on a rant about Travis's disappointing 2025 Chiefs season, pushing the case for why Travis should retire early. And in the middle of this passionate sports take, Simmons said, "Guy's a Hall of Famer. He's getting married to Taylor Swift, having a kid with her." The clip hit X within hours. Within a day, it had been shared hundreds of thousands of times. Reddit threads on Bill Simmons exploded with debate over whether Simmons had inside information about a confirmed pregnancy. Simmons later walked it back, said it was hypothetical, future talk, but by that point, the retraction was completely irrelevant. The clip existed. It had a timestamp. It had a name attached to it. Betting sites had already been running odds on a Taylor Swift pregnancy for months, with real money moving on the speculation. People were financially invested in the outcome of a story that had never been confirmed by anyone with actual knowledge of it. This is the landscape Travis Kelce was living inside. Months of AI fakes, viral photo illusions, a fabricated Donna Kelce account, family pressure becoming tabloid content, a podcaster's offhand remark turned into insider information, betting markets treating his fiance's body as a sports event, a narrative built entirely without his participation, one that assigned him a role he had never agreed to play. The question of whether he was Taylor Swift's baby daddy was being answered by everyone except the people who would actually know: the man in the middle. There is a version of Travis Kelce that the internet decided exists. He is the man in the photographs, the man in the paparazzi footage, the man in the carefully selected clips that tell whatever story the algorithm needs that week. And then, there is the actual Travis Kelce, the man who shows up on New Heights every week, talks openly about his family, his career, and his relationship in a way that most professional athletes never would. The gap between those two versions is where all the most damaging stories live, because Travis Kelce has never hidden his emotional reality. He has built an entire platform on being openly, unapologetically human. And that openness, that willingness to be vulnerable on a podcast in front of millions, is exactly what gave the rumor machine the raw material it needed to construct a narrative about a man falling apart. Let's go to December 3rd, 2025. George Clooney was a guest on New Heights, and the conversation turned to marriage and relationships. Clooney mentioned that in 11 years with his wife Amal, they had never once had a fight. Travis responded directly, without filtering it through a PR lens. "Well, it's only been 2.5 years, and you're right. I haven't gotten into an argument. Never once." On its face, that is a man bragging about how good his relationship is. But the internet does not take things at face value. Relationship experts split right down the middle, half calling it healthy communication, the other half flagging it as either unrealistic or a potential signal of suppressed conflict. The "never once" clip started circulating independently of the episode, stripped of context, landing in comment sections where people who had never heard the full conversation were forming strong opinions about a relationship they had no access to. Kayla Kelce went public with pushback on the commentary, defending the couple in podcast comments. Meanwhile, the physical reality of what Travis was dealing with in public had become genuinely visible. In December 2025, Travis and Taylor went out for a romantic dinner in New York City and were met by approximately 50 paparazzi. Reports described Travis reacting strongly. Some posts characterized it as a confrontation, while Taylor maintained composure and moved at her own rhythm. Videos showed Travis bolting toward their car. Taylor, meanwhile, was unhurried. She's been doing this for her entire adult life. Travis has not. Body language analyst Darren Stanton reviewed footage from the iHeartRadio Music Awards in late March 2026 and noted that Travis showed rigid posture, tension, and guardedness throughout the event. He was described as visibly conscious of the room, less at ease than he would be on a football field. Stanton's full read was that the couple's dynamic was healthy, a strong power balance rooted in deep devotion and mutual respect. But the visual of Travis standing rigid while Taylor moved with total confidence was the part that got screenshotted and shared, because screenshots do not come with expert analysis attached. At that same iHeartRadio ceremony, Taylor accepted Best Pop Album for The Life of a Showgirl and said, "This album also probably feels very happy, confident, and free, because that's the way I get to feel every single day of my life because of my fiancé." Travis mouthed, "I love you," back from the audience. Fans simultaneously called it beautiful and called it painfully painfully awkward, and debated whether something had happened before they walked in, all in the same comment section. Because that is what happens when millions of people with no information are all trying to be the first to correctly diagnose the emotional state of two people they have never met. During a New Heights recording, Travis accidentally broke one of Taylor's chairs. He laughed, said, "Taylor's going to kill me," moved on. What followed was a multi-platform debate about relationship power dynamics and whether Taylor was controlling. A broken chair became a character study. After the Chiefs' early playoff exit in January 2026, multiple reports described rising tension around Travis's retirement decision. Taylor was reportedly concerned about his emotional well-being. Wedding planning stalled. Sources described it as the first real test, not a crisis, but a genuine strain where Taylor was actively stepping back and giving him room. Pile on top of that the months of pregnancy speculation, the betting markets, the AI ultrasound images, the Bill Simmons clip, the family pressure narrative, the Parody X account still posting fake pregnancy announcements in early 2026, fan channels on YouTube running content titled "Huge Pregnancy Hints from the Taylor-Kelce Clan." Travis described his own coping mechanism, calmly, directly, in his own words.
It comes with it. You got a lot of people that care about Taylor, and for good reason.
He acknowledged it, accepted it, moved on from it.
So it's just got to keep living and learning and enjoying the moments. And at the end of the day, I've always been pretty good about compartmentalizing.
Compartmentalizing, that is the word he used, and it is a revealing one, because compartmentalizing is what you do when the thing you are dealing with is too large to process all at once. It is a functional coping mechanism, but it has limits, and those limits matter a great deal when the story you are compartmentalizing is about whether your fiance is carrying your child. Kayla Nicole and the shadow that wouldn't leave. Now here is where the pregnancy story stops being about rumors and starts being about something older, messier, and considerably more layered. Because no conversation about what Travis Kelce was navigating would be complete without talking about the woman whose name kept finding its way back into the frame, no matter how far the story tried to move from her. Kayla Nicole, 5 years, on and off, ended in 2022. By the time Taylor Swift walked into Arrowhead Stadium in September 2023, Kayla Nicole had already been living her post-Travis life for over a year. She had unfollowed the Chiefs' affiliated accounts. She had redirected her platform. She had done the work that people do when a long relationship ends. And then the internet looked up, noticed that Travis had a famous new girlfriend, and decided that Kayla Nicole needed to be part of that story whether she wanted to be or not. The moment Taylor attended her first Chiefs game and the relationship went public, Kayla faced an immediate and intense wave of online harassment, racial insults, commentary that tied her worth as a person to her relationship status with Travis, people calling her a traitor. A section of the Swiftie fan base turned on Kayla Nicole with a ferocity that had nothing to do with anything she had actually done. On October 9th, 2023, Kayla posted a 4-minute Instagram video, an open letter framed as a message to black women. She called it "Dear Black Girl." She did not name Taylor Swift. She did not name Travis Kelce. "Dear Black Girl, they may call you a traitor for falling in love. You'll hope the ones closest will protect you, but you will quickly find out that people don't protect what they don't value." She was clear, measured, and direct. The response split exactly as you would expect. Some praised the vulnerability, others doubled down and hit harder. Now fast forward to October 3rd, 2025. Taylor Swift releases The Life of a Showgirl, and within hours, fans were in the second verse of a track called Opalite with Forensic Energy. The lyrics, you couldn't understand it, why you felt alone. You were in it for real, she was in her phone, and you were just a pose. A resurfaced video from Travis and Kayla's relationship era showed a moment where Travis told Kayla to put down her phone during a public outing. Another clip surfaced of Kayla saying she would not need social media validation if someone was paying her enough attention. X treated it accordingly. Taylor Swift just called Kayla Nicole TF out. Taylor later explained the song in interviews as being about forgiving past relationships and personal growth without naming anyone directly. But explanations travel slower than screenshots. Kayla went on the pregame podcast the following day and said she was terrified of my comments, terrified of my DMs. She did not name Taylor. She did not name the song, but she reposted a clip to her Instagram stories from America's Next Top Model where a contestant says, "I don't compare myself to the other girls. I'm no comparison to anyone else." The internet read it as a response. She never confirmed it was. Then, October 31st, 2025, Kayla Nicole dressed as Toni Braxton from the music video for He Wasn't Man Enough. The song title landed like a grenade in a room full of people already holding matches. Coming just weeks after the Opalite conversation, it was read almost universally as a message directed at Travis, directed at Taylor, directed at the whole situation. Kayla denied every reading meaning of it. On her October 31st podcast, she explained the costume was inspired by a childhood best friend named Taylor, not Taylor Swift. On November 11th, she returned to it. "I'm not in the business of tearing other women down. I am in the business of celebrating them." She pointed to the ending of the Braxton video, where the women band together against the cheating ex and pushed back on what she called projected narratives. By around November 8, 2025, resurfaced tweets from 2010 to 2014 containing racial and homophobic slurs led to Kayla deactivating her ex account entirely. She has not publicly addressed those tweets. And then, Super Bowl Sunday, February 8, 2026. Kayla Nicole appeared in a Super Bowl commercial for the Sleeper app alongside Tiffany Haddish, Ben Simmons, Offset, and others. The concept was a service for emotional injuries from celebrity breakups. Kayla's lines included, "Don't get me started on these two." And then from Ben Simmons, "I said swiftly, why is that so hard to remember?" An unmistakable pun on Taylor Swift's name. Aired during the Super Bowl while Travis Kelce was in the building. Reddit threads titled "Kayla Nicole just shaded Taylor and Travis" were live within the hour. Kayla has not issued a direct response to the ad backlash as of March 2026. Neither Taylor nor Travis said a word. But here is what the Kayla Nicole thread does to the pregnancy story. It adds a layer of paternity-adjacent drama that the internet simply could not resist processing. Because now, you have a couple with an unconfirmed pregnancy rumor circulating for months, an ex whose name will not go away, and a public desperate to connect dots that may or may not exist. The combination of those three elements, the baby question, the ex question, and the public scrutiny, is precisely the soil in which a story like this one grows. What the record actually shows. Let's put all of it together, because at some point in a story this dense, this layered with speculation, AI content, expert analysis, fan forums, Super Bowl ads, and family pressure, you have to step back and look at what is actually documented. Here is what is verified as of March 29, 2026. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift got engaged in approximately August 2025. The announcement came via Instagram, with proposal photos from a garden at Travis's Missouri home and a caption that read, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." The world decided collectively that this was the couple, the one that represented something about what love was supposed to look like when two people at the top of their respective games found each other and decided to stay. Then by January 2026, reports began surfacing that wedding planning had been put on hold. The sourcing came from Rob Shooter's Naughty But Nice Substack, picked up by Page 6 and others. The framing from insiders was practical. Travis was working through a retirement decision. They were in date night mode, not wedding spreadsheet mode. The tone of the original reporting was not alarming. It was human, but TikTok creator AI Sit the Right Word reframed the entire thing with a single phrase: soft launch of the breakup. That video, cited by Newsweek, argued the wedding pause was not a couple being thoughtful. It was step one of a carefully managed public split. The theory came with receipts: a charity controversy, prenup dispute rumors, Taylor's reported stress around the Blake Lively lawsuit testimony, Travis appearing tired or cold in photographs. Reddit threads on Travis and Taylor ran with it immediately. Posts titled, "Is this a warm-up for breakup news?" and "The beginning of the end?" compiled every piece of the narrative into a cohesive argument for a relationship quietly disintegrating. Other threads specifically flagged "she hasn't seen Travis much" angle as additional proof the split was already in motion. And simultaneously, the pregnancy rumor machine was still running. Parody accounts still posting fake announcements. Fan channels still dropping weekly hint compilations, with online conversation now explicitly adding Taylor's age into the equation as a reason the timeline for a baby had become urgent. Then, the iHeartRadio Music Awards, March 26 and 27, 2026. The first joint awards show appearance, the event the internet had been circling for weeks. Taylor won Best Pop Album for The Life of a Showgirl. In her speech, "This album also probably feels very happy, confident, and free, because that's the way I get to feel every single day of my life because of my fiance." He mouthed, "I love you," back. Some called it romantic. Some called the whole appearance painfully awkward. The body language expert who actually studied the footage called it something else. Darren Stanton's full professional assessment: strong power balance, deep devotion, mutual respect, and a healthy dynamic. He noted Travis's guardedness, but framed it as a man outside his natural environment, not a man in conflict with his partner. Two very different things. The expert read and the painfully awkward read received approximately equal weight in public conversation, which tells you everything you need to know about how information moves in 2026. Now here's where this story gets to the heart of what actually matters. Taylor Swift has publicly spoken about how deeply harmful pregnancy and body speculation is to her, citing her history with disordered eating. The months of AI-generated ultrasounds, the viral bump photos, the betting markets, all of it landing on a woman who has described in detail how damaging it is to have her body treated as a subject for public analysis. Reuters confirmed no evidence of a pregnancy announcement has ever existed. Snopes confirmed the ultrasound images were fabricated. Primetimer confirmed the viral photo claims were debunked. Every major fact-checking outlet pointed to the same conclusion. But the Kelce family dynamic, the private, close-knit culture, is something that gets overlooked in every one of these narratives. Here is Kayla Kelce describing how she and Jason found out Travis was dating Taylor in the first place.
How did Travis tell you guys that he was dating Taylor Swift? I'm assuming like your family was like getting told this in some capacity at some point,
We were
right?
not.
You weren't?
No, I will say we knew before everyone else knew.
Okay.
But it was not like...
It didn't hit the group.
They knew before the world did, but they were not formally told, not through a group chat, not through an announcement.
It didn't hit the group chat.
No, it did not hit the group chat.
Did Jason tell you?
Jason and I found out together. But we knew before like they hard launched with her going to a game.
I would assume.
Yeah.
This is a family that keeps things internal, that does not broadcast, and the contrast between that culture, quiet, private, contained, and the ecosystem of millions of people publicly speculating about every detail of Travis's life could not be sharper. The warmth underneath all of it is real. Taylor described meeting Jason for the first time.
I'll always remember meeting you for the first time, Jason.
What was that first impression like? Did you know I was told to be on my best behavior?
I didn't know what you were told,
Jason had been briefed. He came in with a plan to behave.
but I did know that one of the first things I saw was like, you say to Kylie, I was just shotgunning beers with the Bills Mafia.
The plan lasted about as long as the first round of drinks.
And I really want to go through one of the fire tables.
Yep.
I want to jump through it.
Taylor described the next moment, Jason suddenly moving through a window at what she called light speed.
I've never seen someone so big move so fast. And all of a sudden, like, you're out there in the snow, you're handing me children through the window.
And Jason's own verdict on whether that qualified as his best first impression.
Trying to. That was
It's
probably
fully,
not my best moment.
it was, I think it actually was.
Taylor thought it was exactly his best moment. And that kind of warmth, chaotic, genuine, unfiltered, is the foundation this relationship was built on. A family that shotguns beers with opposing fans and hands children through windows in a snowstorm is not a family that operates through carefully managed PR narratives. They are just people, loud, loving, honest people who happen to end up at the center of the most scrutinized relationship on the planet. The PR stunt theory, the soft launch theory, the pregnancy announcement theory, every one of them exists inside a media ecosystem specifically engineered to generate maximum engagement before facts arrive to complicate the story. The AI tools that generate fake ultrasounds in minutes. The Facebook pages built on fictional celebrity content. The TikTok creators who name the narrative before anyone has verified whether the narrative is real. All of it is documented, all of it has been traced, and all of it points to the same conclusion. The story the internet told about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's baby was not a story about their baby. It was a story about the machine that builds these stories and the millions of people who consume them before anyone has time to check. As of March 29, 2026, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged. No pregnancy has been confirmed. Wedding planning is reportedly paused. They appeared together at the iHeartRadio Music Awards and were publicly warm. No verified breakup, no verified paternity drama, no verified anything beyond two people navigating one of the most public relationships in modern history. But Travis Kelce, living at the center of a story built without his participation, assigned a role in a pregnancy narrative he had no control over, was dealing with something real. The emotional weight of it was real. The strain of compartmentalizing a months-long global rumor about whether your fiance is carrying your child, real. And he said it himself, not dramatically, just honestly.
You know, just got to keep living and learning and enjoying the moments. And at the end of the day, you know, I've always been pretty good about compartmentalizing and being able to stay focused in this building.
Living, learning, compartmentalizing. Whether the next chapter is a summer wedding, a retirement press conference, or something none of us have predicted, the couple has consistently made clear they will announce it when they are ready. Not when a Bill Simmons rant forces the conversation. Not when an AI image gets 22,000 Facebook reactions. Not when a Reddit thread decides the soft launch of a breakup is already underway. When they are ready, not a moment before.